Alright, we are back with our coverage of the World Championship. I am your host, Yamato Potato. We are here to watch FPX versus Fnatic. Fnatic just came off a win playing Veigar. Draft looks very similar. Veigar now, Fan plus Phoenix choose it as a ban and they don't pick Ryze first 3. They go for the Gragas lock-in first. They don't want Fnatic to go on it. Broxah on Lee Sin has been quite uninteresting. So, it's definitely working. Denying Gragas from Broxah is definitely working. It's a good strategy. Tian locks in Varus for LWX. And then Tamkinch is something they played initially and it worked out very well. Let's see if Fnatic continue to pick Alistar or if they like third pick a Kayle or something else. Ryze is also open. They could also just third pick support. That's also a way. But I think most of the time you want to third pick top or whatever you want to blind. Okay. Kai'Sa Pyke. I respect it. Kai'Sa Pyke. Pyke is quite good into Tam Coco. Doesn't give a shit about his shield. If he drops below a certain threshold, he's going to execute him regardless of how big his shield is. And the hook interacts just very well with big clunky targets like Tam, and Tam's poke is kind of non-existent against Pyke, because Pyke cannot get poked. Kled is banned. They don't want to deal with Kled mid lane or Kled flex. Kingdom can play Kled too very well. Was Warhorse old AHQ coach? Ornn banned, Renekton banned, Gangplank out. Is this another Rengar game? Fourth pick, will it go to mid lane or top? Most likely to mid. Ryze is open. Ryze is open. TF is open. Kayle double flex. Okay. I think Ryze lock in. Ryze is counter to Kayle. I don't care what people say, but I think Ryze is a better version of Kayle. Kayle has an ultimate that you can use together with Kai'Sa, right? Sure, there's some potential there that Ryze can't provide, but in terms of early game power, Ryze has a root. In terms of how Ryze interacts with champions at later parts of the game in terms of his range, I think Ryze also wins out because of phase rush. This is going to be a Kayle into Camille. I think this Kayle is going to be the one that gives first blood. Camille Gragas, so hard to survive, I think. And Cassiopeia locked in now for their friend in black and orange. Or white. I guess they're wearing white right now. Pardon me. So if I predicted here, I think honestly think Fan plus Phoenix will close it out here. I think their draft, just because of the Camille Gragas into Kayle, I think that one is rough. If Kayle survives without dying early, I think Cassiopeia here is such a good pick into their composition. So we'll have to see. I think Gragas and Varus can deal with Cassio pretty well. There's a lot of moving objects here. But I think FPX have the better composition because of early game power, and then later on they have more tools to face check, more tools to spread their pressure on the map with the Tam, and also some better engaged tools as well. And I think this is something that Fnatic needs. Then give Pyke E and Qs and tries to do something like this. There's many things that can just shut him down, if it's a Varus ult or a Ryze W or whatever. We have to see how it pans out. Elena, could you give me water? Elena, can you give me water? Thank you. So I want to take a step back and just check if Ilisang actually hovered Draven Oriana. There you go, Draven Oriana hover. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. Okay. Okay. So Fnatic definitely have a composition that's very difficult to play, but in some certain situations it can be very rewarding. Fan plus Phoenix overcommit. If they are in a position where they need to engage on Fnatic, it can get very difficult to engage through this Cassio. If Cassio gets hit by a Gragas barrel or a Varus ultimate, then she gets caught and dies, but if she doesn't, she can definitely dominate the playfield here. But there's a lot of things she needs to avoid. And if Lee focuses in team fights to only kick the Camille ult away, then maybe Fnatic can kite them. Okay. I have hiccups now. Great. Let's see now if Broxah can find his footing. Fnatic doing some classic level 1 strategies. LWX doing his best to spot, but this could get dangerous very fast. Oh! Okay. I clinched my cheeks. That's a sweeper for Lee. That's new. Giving XP to Bwipo and Nemesis to get level 2 on the first wave. Bwipo is happy. Look at him smiling. Has had a great performance. Definitely the better top laner in this best of 5. That's good to know. That Bwipo is stepping up. So Bwipo is Fnatic's hope. Now on the Kayle, let's see if he can reach the Shy levels of Kayle. Because not only is the Shy ascended, he's also just on a whole nother level. That's a potential red buff start. That's the sweeperoo. Kind of fine strategy here from Fnatic, knowing that you can... you know that the enemy team is going to look to counter ward when you look to invade, and the sweep here definitely works out well, because always the natural reaction in pro games, if enemy is invading as 5, you try to look and get something out of it by warding on the opposite side of the map. Works out with the sweep, even on Lee. Clears the ward. Let's see if him lacking a ward will hurt him. Bwipo getting Klepto. Klepto Bwipo. Cassio pushing the mid wave. Doom is gonna farm some of that under the turret. Tricky to do with Rise early on. Gimgun winning the trades here. Press the attack. And Hilibaba is forced to E out, of course. 16-4 all-time record as Pyke. That's crazy. Ilisang Pyke is definitely good. They are well aware of Tian's pathing. He's gonna base and go into top side. There's been situations where junglers have based and gone into bot side again and surprised the enemy with a gank. I think this is not the game to do it. I think impacting topside is just too insane, and if you lose your topside camps without getting any value, it's super huge. Broxah gets spotted by a ward, but he should know this. And Gimgun gets pressured out, and Bwipo is maintaining the wave in a good position, slow pushing this out, trying to deny Gimgun as much as possible. And then Bwipo's gonna have the better base, because he bases with more gold, yada yada yada, standard stuff. Tian gets to take blue for free, because Kayle position of the wave top is better. Broxah takes the crab, he's happy as well. Seems like both junglers are just gonna full clear. Long sword, or maybe just jungle item if Broxah, I don't know if he can afford it. Can he? Yeah, he can. Jungle item, no pink. Maybe he goes back to buy a pink. He went back to buy the ward. And now you get 2 wards. Oh, thank you very much. You get 2 wards because the sweeper is on cooldown, I believe. Actually, he swept. It was on cooldown, so he gets 1 ward because it was halfway. If the sweeper is off cooldown completely, you get 2 wards. People doing his blue for the first time. Warded on bottom side from the bot lane. Crab is gonna get spotted. If Broxa goes for it, double crab will be his advantage. Both junglers have based. Very stale early game here for FPX and Fnatic, honestly. Who's happier? Honestly, I think that the Kaiser Kayle late game is dangerous. So here, just because Kayle is so safe and not giving up any kills yet, it's a positive, but it can still happen, definitely. So here, as time goes on and nothing has happened to the Kayle, I think his chances to succeed in this game just continuously grow. Bwipo has been a great top laner in this series, and I'm not too certain about the top lane matchup, but I believe you want to avoid things like this as much as possible as Kayle. The Camille E is on, and he's not going to even flash because he doesn't have flash. I don't know when he flashed, honestly. No idea. They didn't really show it. Whoa, 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 I went back to space, man. Oh, did I just space out? Okay, I missed this completely. Sorry. Why did I miss this? What was I doing? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why I missed this. Okay. But this was very good. I really don't know why I missed this. Getting tiring when I'm reviewing my 8th game of the day, I guess. Happens. Okay, blocks the double crab, and Bwipo's gonna die. Here Bwipo slow pushing out. He's kind of screwed. Like, he can't survive without flash against Camille Gragas. And I think this is the issue with the Kayle here. The Camille Gragas can always kill the Kayle, and Lee Sin can't always be top. So he's bound to die. He burns his flash. Just the engage distance of Gragas Predator and Camille E is just too wide. Here, if at any point Kayle passes the river, he's kind of screwed. And here GameGone can look to freeze for a long time and deny the Kayle as much as possible. And now the freeze top is kept, I believe, and Kayle is still in a horrible position. So if Tian chooses, he can continue to pressure into top and look to kill again. But it seems like the wave crashed. I think GameGone mismanaged it, because now it's not frozen anymore, and the wave is all chaotic. Actually, it's frozen, but very poorly. Like, this is gonna hit the tower the moment that melee creep dies. I'm not sure what this movement was for. Just looking to break the freeze, I believe, for Bwipo, and Bwipo could do it on his own, but Lee just backing him up in case Gragas made an aggressive play. Situation in mid even, bottom favor Varus. Reckless less TP. Varus Tam, a very strong lane, poke-wise. Can do a lot. Then now, just because you buy lifesteal in your items, it's quite dangerous. And LWX doing everything in its power to cancel this base here. Hiri-san trades flash with Gragas. There was no danger in this. Reckless and TP back. Doinbi is in position. Cassio is not in position. Doinbi Rise ultimates. Always on side. Reckless is not TPing. Bottom is walking. And this is very positive for FPX. This Varus Tamkench is definitely working out, something that no one else has played in this tournament, and it's working. It's working big time. Game Gun looking for a trade. Gonna pot up and wait for next E, and then maybe look to all in with Azult. I wonder how this matchup is actually played out, because I don't know. I don't know how 1v1 it works Kale into Camille, but I just imagine it's a full jungle matchup, and if Kale gets ganked, he's gonna die. Especially if he has no flash. But so far only one death. Let's see if it's enough. Varus Tamkench doing a lot of damage on bottom. Hillsang no flash. Cassio freaking hovering into bot to save Hillsang. Roxy now with the higher CS numbers. Not that big of a difference. Tiana's base disadvantage. This could be a rough fight. FPX is 6 on Varus. They can look to one-shot someone, definitely. They have so good team fighting tools here. Broxah needs to look for a kick, and Nemesis needs to look to poke. And that's the route. Cassio gets caught. Okay, that's one. That's one. Doesn't matter. Oh, Hillsang. Okay. Oh, they managed to salvage it somehow. It was a rough situation to begin with. Let's take a step back and analyze FPX's decision to... Actually, Fnatic's decision to start the Drake. Mountain is a very strong dragon. It's the tankiest dragon of them all. And Fnatic bot lane, they don't have prior here at all. Wave is frozen and they can't move into this space. Then Nemesis gets Varus ulted right here. Boom, Varus ulti, and then the Gragas barrel lands in the back of the neck of this oogly spider. There you see the Tam versus Pyke interaction. The shield does nothing. And Fnatic just couldn't do this based over their position in bottom. If your bot lane is like this, then you can't really fight around dragon. And now FPX have the choice if they want to pressure dive on bottom, pressure reckless off, base, and then swap into top. The Bippo is freezing the top wave. I like the situation where they dive bottom here. It's weird that they let Kai'Sa farm this. Oh, I'm sorry for the yawning. It's been a very long day. I think not in position to fight, not the right champions to fight. FPX have more tools to one-shot. Clear cut, simple. Not the time to do the Drake. Okay. I'm losing focus big time. Still didn't eat today and struggling to maintain concentration. So I'm gonna go back in case I missed something because I'm spacing out. Varustam should have prio. They should win. Mid 2v2 has not been a thing this whole series, besides from Tian and Don't Be Building Vision. Hook. Varus tanks it and then Tam eats it right away. Very neat combo there. I like it. Very smooth. FPX are definitely Tam abusers in the regular season. They use Tam very aggressively. They use it to reset turret aggro even. This Tam early game is very strong because he can poke a lot and he is very strong against poke. But in the regular season, Tam was played very long time ago. His son doesn't channel his hook all the way, so he doesn't have the range to catch Doinby. Tian get into red. They were suspecting Rift Herald, but Tian was just stealing red. Now we just have to wait and see and how the scale develops against the Camille, and I believe Rise should win against Kale though. Just short trades. I don't like the Road of Ages build too much against Kale and Cassio. I think you're very reliant on your burst damage and no one's gonna buy MR here. So if you itemize Oblivion Orb, you're going to be very powerful. So I like it a lot more. Oblivion Orb, Spellbinder is also really good. Against Cassio, you're not gonna be able to out-sustain her, so might as well look for the burst. I don't like it so much. I'm just gonna splash some water on my face because I'm kind of falling asleep. Be right back. Hi. Okay, let's continue. Pardon me for this silliness. Bottom tower fell after the blade. Later in King purchase. They tried to gank Doinby. Okay. They hover on the top side. Tian stole the red, they were suspecting the Rift Herald. And then now, because of a pike position, they're hitting bottom tower. And then Rise is hovering with, he spotted the pike. And then the pike, the Rise and the Gragas are just taking control of the river. I wonder if Cassio and Lee can contest here. Because here FPX are just face checking, they don't give a shit, but they see Casio on the mid wave. They see Casio on the mid wave, and that's why they're walking. So Fnatic were not posturing to contest this. The moment they don't, Fnatic can hover into, FPX can hover into bottom, rise TPs for tempo, and they just commit on this turret. Alright, so Casio TP's onto mid. I think he could have saved the TP and walked, and maybe they could have used the TP for something, because he's not going to gain anything besides denying a rise 6 CS, and I don't think it matters. Well, they didn't even deny the CS because Varus is matching that TP into mid, but Varus TP is less valuable than Doinby TP, because this team FPX is going to play around the Varus, so he doesn't want to TP anywhere. He's going to use the TAM, and they're going to play into side. Doinby no TP, they're going to play 1-3-1, hover into right side, let Imgun play on split. So no more ganks onto Bippo. Bippo has Gunblade. Varus is in the mid lane, and it seems like FPX just are in no mood to go for this. They don't care about the Herald after 14-minute mark. They're just going to go for this Ocean. It's a trade. They commit to the trade. Now, no TPs on Fnatic except Reckless TP, which is not that important unless they're trying to play a 3-1-1, which they shouldn't. They should play through mid, I believe. But side lane now. So Bippo stopwatches, which I respect. Tian is gonna look to Q and R him. Bippo's in the shit. Let's see his flash. Even good could E flash as well. So Bippo dies. Yeah, it's a tricky situation because Fnatic are not at the point where they are winning split push that hard. They are losing mid prio heavily against the Varus and the Tam Coco. And wow, I hope FPX don't take inhib already. They shouldn't. Taking inhib this early is not good. You lose too much CS on side. So Fnatic. Split push, very limited options. And mid prio, Tam, Varus, Gragas are just winning. Lee, Kaiser, Pyke don't do anything together. Their 3v3 is very weak on mid lane. Fnatic got the Herald. They're looking for mid tower as a trade. Nemesis has flash. Varus can still look to ult. His ult up in 1/4. Gragas should walk on mid here. They should pressure together so they can hit this tower. Otherwise, Fnatic just get the bottom tower for free. Seems like it was not possible. Let's take the mid tower. Bottom wave needs reparations. Fnatic are looking for stalemate. That's all. Ocean Drakes are spawning, they should be happy. Hildisang eats a Varus ult. That was aimed for Casio. But boom. Varus against Pyke is rough. Casio against Varus is also rough. It's an LWX special. Glad they dropped the Lucian. Hate Lucian. Wow. I'm just falling asleep. Ooh, let's power through. Let's power through. Let's go, team. Fnatic have very limited options of being proactive at all. Ocean Drake, they need to give up and look to take top tower off of it. That's the best play. Varos didn't go for Ginsu. Reckless, when he gets Ginsu, could potentially be stronger than Varos, but Varos is going for a Wit's End just to deny the magic damage of Kale and Cassio most likely. Leandro is being bought. Fnatic, you need to hope that FPX make a big mistake. But still the issue is Tam is going to reach level 11. They're going to pressure through mid. Tam, Gragas, Varos is just too strong 3v3. And then pressure to whichever side they seem the best fit. Soon it will be towards top because of Nashor. Okay, Fnatic doing something proactive. Tam gets caught. Ryze ulti is on. And Hilly survives by the really close. Tenacity and runes is showing up big here. The tenacity and runes, look at that. Varus ult and the Gragas ult comes very late. Tian, I don't think he could ult earlier. He's ulting as soon as he's in range. $4,000 gold lead. It's very big, 4,000. I like this. Game1 pushing up way too far though. His team didn't have even prior on mid. After this happened, Fnatic were the ones pushing mids and full topside is completely blind. Game1 is just making a blunder here. Always what you want to do here is wait for mid prio and then step into BN River while that happens and then step into here together and then go into top wave. Like you can't push this deep if you don't have mid prio or full vision in enemy topside jungle. Fnatic just need to keep looking for these picks. Most important part, but it's looking very grim. Scaling with Kaiser Kale, sure. Kaiser Kale Cassio is good, but right now the state of the game is rough. Change for the big item. 2 items soon on Kale. Kale is gonna match on bottom. Okay. FPX. Okay. Good hustle from Nemesis here. Varus is very low HP. He's not gonna be allowed to lifesteal precisely. Oh, Tian is very low HP. Ah, he's dead. He's dead. Fnatic finding catches. Okay. I think Nemesis just walked too far. He doesn't need to walk so far. He's like walking past and chasing and continuing forward when he can't. Varus ult is huge. Oh, look at this Varus ult. Well, have you guys played Pandemic? This is when you win in Pandemic because this Varus ult just spread to everyone, man. Wow. That is nasty, man. And they get the mid tower. Potentially a second. Varus and Tam basic for temple. Varus has TP. Maybe they can force Nashor somehow. Get a good fight right away. Hex Drinker into Maw. Bot for LWX. He's going for Ginzu now. Not finishing Maw. Just getting Hex Drinker into Maw. Hex Drinker into Ginzu, sorry. Because look at this. Here Tian is caught. He's good. He's dead. Like here he fucked up. He died. And he flashed and he stopwatched. But here Nemesis walks so far. And then boom. He gets ulted. And then his team wants to help him. And then the spread of the E of Rise and also the root. That's That's unfortunate. Nemesis here with a crucial mistake. Need to just kill La Dragonia there. And they would have delayed the game further. Instead, they accelerated the game now for FPX. Nemesis, can he get out? I doubt it. He's in trouble. Kale has ultimate. Kale refuses to ultimate. Nemesis is dead. That's one. Wipo is saving ult for himself. That's his plan. Wipo is trying to stay alive, but he can't. Reckless trading some hits with the Rise. Not a good idea. Can't do anything else. Why didn't Wipo just ult Nemesis there? How did Nemesis end up in this position in the first place? So how did we end up here? Cassio was out and about, got caught. Whip was saving ult for late game. And maybe Cassio survives. You know, if you ult her, she gets a lot of regen from E and she doesn't take that extra damage from Camille. Maybe you kill Camille faster and then maybe you can kill someone else. Like Cassio's pretty strong at this point, if she can hit something. And this was a situation where she could clearly hit something and Whippo saved his ult for himself. Okay, Haley-san with some pike shenanigans. FPX, are they just gonna go for the same call as game 2? Just do Nash, don't care if it's if it's 50-50. Ooh, Haley-san with the QSS. He saved the QSS for this moment. Oi, 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 oi. Where's the eat? That's the eat, and eat is now on cooldown. QSS lands and boom. Boom. Fnatic with the boom. And now Doinby. Doinby. Okay. 2 for 0, 2 for 0, Fnatic. Surprise, caught off guard there by the QSS, I believe, the Varus. And now we're starting to reach the point where Kale is gonna start building towards the third item, and likewise for the Kaiser. Varus is still super strong. He's going for the IE build. We have to watch the progression. FPX don't give a shit. They're playing on Varus TP. Varus has TP. Everyone on Fnatic have TP too, except Whippo. Whippo shot on bottom wave. And FPX are hiding now. They see this, there's a ping in the pit, no problem. And this could be a time for Fnatic to pressure. They know that FPX didn't base, and HP numbers are not the greatest, but the crab prevents any shenanigans, as is right now. Okay. Third Ocean. Okay, Tian. Zonia is on. Oh, Brox is dead. Oh, Doinby and the Gragas barrel. So we start with a situation where Tian looks caught. Doinbi starts to channel TP, he's behind enemy lines. He gets kind of ignored, but he flashes straight up and he gets away. Boom, Q, and then Bwipo gets knocked and he dies. They walked into the FPX funnel there and they just got decimated. Bwipo and Kale puts a dark shadow on the series that he played so far. Broxa, only hope is a steal. Only hope is a steal. Okay. Jesus. They kept hitting it, so I got really fucking nervous. But now, Fnatic are gonna lose. How do you win? FPX honestly played so much better here than in the group stage. So coordinated, so together, very reminiscent of their regional play. Their vision control was sublime. Tian showed why he's considered like one of the best junglers at the World Championship. Crisp with some fancy Tam Kench play. And LWX on the Varus was looking very nasty. We had that Xayah game as well that prompted Fnatic to ban Xayah on red side, which is beautiful. And then Doinbi on his classic rise has done a lot of work as well. Gimgoon didn't have the greatest performance in this series in comparison to what he could be, but all is good. His team is picking up the slack. Gimgoon seems to do better and better as the game progresses. He's more of a team fighter. He's like a Chinese Vichichachi, I feel. Doinbi is a tank, like legit tank, 3000 HP, Banshee. A lot of Leandry value here for Nemesis. Need to do something crazy, like a crazy kick or some crazy Casio ult, or it's difficult to imagine a world here where Fnatic win. 2-3-1 series. Maybe Fnatic will look to break this apart by looking for the Kale. Rise ulted in. Oh, there's no turret, I forgot about that one. Crisp is very deep. Flash is on. Nemesis does crazy damage here, man. Hidisang is fishing. Looking for Crisp. Alright. Fnatic have very little engaged tools. Oh, that's the ultimate into Gragas ultimate. It's a deadly combo. Always gonna get caught. If the Varus is accurate, then the Rise ult is so powerful. So powerful. I love how FPX is using the freaking Varus ultimate. Man, Fnatic got completely outmatched in this series. Completely outmatched. I was always worried about how these bans would affect Fnatic, but honestly, the GP out, Gragas out seems to be too harsh, and FPX at their highest level just seems too difficult for Fnatic. They heavily outperformed Fnatic in this series. Heavily outperformed. Complete control of every early game. Complete control. We had that one game that they lost. Even in that one, they had complete control of the early game until things started going wrong for FPX. Game has been paused. I guess we have the luxury of being able to pass this. Trying to remember what even happened in this game. What was the springboard to Varus getting first kill? How did Varus get first kill? He had naturally big CS advantage, and then the first kill, what happened? Oh, we had this situation where Cassio died. Oh, this was a ridiculous call from Fnatic. Their composition, you know, doesn't have that much possibility in the early game. And they were the ones calling for this dragon when their bottom was in no position to fight, and this is where the Varus got killed. Okay. I'm assuming just because it says here a stream has ended that Fnatic did indeed lose. It says stream has ended. The stream wouldn't have ended if there was another game. I just want to check how FPX get Nash. Oh, this was actually something we've seen already. This we've also seen actually, I just didn't fast forward the right way. I was just so surprised by Dombey being level 17. He's so fucking high level. The Veigar ban, man. So I'm gonna just use this as B-roll to discuss the flaws of Fnatic. So I was hoping that I predicted FPX win because I think FPX performance in the group stage was not looking like this at all. FPX now looks very solid, very collected. Individually, they look phenomenal. Doinby looks really, really strong. Gimgoon looked iffy. So the FPX IG matchup is going to be super interesting because it feels like we are going to have a repeat of the Gimgoon, the Shy, similar to Sword, because Gimgoon had some difficulties there, and I think Gimgoon has a better champion pool to survive on his own, and that's going to be interesting to pay attention to. But honestly, I made the prediction when it came to FPX. I said that they should be very happy that they have a very easy group because they have a lot of time to adjust and to recognize what they're doing wrong on the international stage. And I feel like that's what the group stage gave them. It gave them an easy first place, and also it gave them an opportunity to kind of set their mind in the right place. And FPX, really, you know, the cooperation with Tian and his laners, beautiful. Even in this game, they managed to get some advantage onto the KO. When he cooperates with Doinby, it's very evident that wherever Tian is wasting time, it's working. Not wasting time, but using his time, it's always a payoff. And that comes down to decision making, where you choose to pressure, and also how well you work with your team. And I think Tian was really good in this series. I never felt like he was wasting time. It was always very clear, oh, they're pressuring around mid lane, they're building the vision, they're maintaining the pink wards, enemy has TF, trying to make sure that Ryze has the space to play, up until the point where Ryze has TP. Then all of a sudden they're playing into bottom. Boom, they're playing into bottom, everyone's ready for that big play. TF tried to do the big play, and all of a sudden it backfired. Boom, they're getting a lead. It's very clear, the thought process always. With Fnatic, not so much. I don't feel like Fnatic has a 2v2 mid option. I think that's out of the question. It's something they didn't do the entire tournament. Top 2v2 is also looking quite iffy. The way they build vision and transfer pressure is just not there. They tried to do something through bottom, but FPX's bot lane was just... they just had Prio every game. Except that one game where Fnatic managed to pick Kai's away and Tompkins was banned second wave. And when that happened, things worked out. They had the Leona, they had Kai'Sa, and all was good. Now Kai'Sa responds, Varus, Tam, and FPX had Prio. All they cared about this game was to make sure that they have a stronger bot that gives them Prio, and all of a sudden Fnatic looks quite lost, because when Broxah can't build vision or play through bottom, it looks harder. Last game, it definitely was the case that they could. This time around, they couldn't. And FPX have a great read here on Fnatic. Right bans, Gragas, huge ban. I felt like Broxah was a ghost of himself without the Gragas. But I think the bigger deal here is that Fnatic without bot lane prio is just not a team. And that comes down also, that's going to impact how Broxah plays. And when that happens, they struggle. We saw it in the first game against SK Telecom as well, where the bot lane matchup was like Garen Yuumi versus Kayle Nautilus or something like this. It was very stale, and Fnatic just naturally lost their mid lane, their top lane, and Klid was just hovering at the right times, preventing any ganks from happening. And the GP Gragas ban was just too hard for Fnatic to handle. Whip is gonna die. Rest in pepperonis. And that ends Fnatic's tournament run and starts FPX's tournament run, honestly. I think all FPX fans should be really, really happy that, their team is coming to life, because before the group stage looked very iffy. Now it's looking beautiful. Broxah gets spotted by a ward. TP is on. Doinby's gonna chase him out. He's gonna chase him out like a dog. Bark, bark. Doinby level 18. Chase him all the way. Nashor zone, and FPX are going to end Fnatic's run right here. This is the time to do the heroic play of the year with the Casio Flash ult. Bwipo on the Kayle didn't work out this time. Not quite the shy. Many teams should not play Kayle, honestly. Gimgun in the mid lane, just Nashor buffing, Doinby shooting thunderbolts onto the turret that do 600 damage with this mountain. Irisan going low. Super creeps being transferred to, not super creeps, but Baron creeps transferred to top inhib. 3 inhibs down. FPX have a big wave on bottom, can probably finish with this if they give it Nash. Doinby, Hidesang trying some ridiculous engage, but it's all too late. And Gimgun with a nice stopwatch denying Broxah of any play. And that ends Fnatic's tournament run. It was a miracle that they got through in the first place, and everyone got hyped up. But RNG, looking back at Fnatic's tournament run, their drafts allowed them to win, I feel, against RNG and SKT. RNG had the Lulu and the Ezreal bottom, which was a big meme. They had the Xayah every game, which I think is a step above Kai'Sa in terms of tier. And then we also had, the Gangplank and the Gragas, which evidently is a very important pick for Broxah. And then Xayah bot lane gives you, in a lot of cases, a winning bot lane matchup. Here, Kai'Sa Pyke losing against Varus Tam early. Varus Tam, very strong lane early, and that's how FPX chose to defuse them. Very, very good preparation from FPX. FPX also look like they're in form, just Gimgun playing more of a teamfight role instead of being dominant in lane, and I think that needs to level up a bit if they want to take on IG in a spectacular fashion, because the way FPX builds vision are really nice. How they pressure together, how they play as a team, the cohesion, absolutely phenomenal. Super, super good. There's no shame in losing against this. Obviously, Fnatic needs to go further, but FPX was just way more complete as a team, and the run is over now. Really over. So that summarizes the day. I apologize for the quality in this last one. Honestly, I need to go to bed. I need to eat something. I didn't eat anything all day. I've been sitting at the PC and reviewing these games since 12 all the way to 8. It's good fun. 4 good games, everything you can find on the channel. If you like this content, please give me your feedback, and I wish you all the best, honestly. I'm having a lot of fun, and Fnatic you know, outside of the Gragas and the Gangplank and the Zaya, seems like they are just not good enough to win this tournament. And that information was right before us all the time. And FPX was very deceptive in their group stage play, and everyone knew there was a world where FPX wake the fuck up, and it happened. Makes for a very exciting semifinals.